Hey, Monica, how you doing?
Hi, Jim. Nice to meet you.
It's
How are you?
very good to meet you. Actually, I've heard about you and I've seen you online, obviously, and I know you work in Apex, which is, I think, probably one of the hottest things around. So I said, I got to talk to Monica, and I was sort of supposed to be going to your part of the world. I guess last year, but last year became last year, so that all changed. So you're from Colombia, right?
Right. I'm from Cali, Colombia, and I have been all my life in this same city. Yeah.
Interesting. Cool. Okay, well, I wanted to talk to you about Apex. I wanted to talk to you about developers and Apex and your experiences with the community. I see you do your presentations all the time and stuff like that. So let's just start off with, we'll just start off with, how did you get involved with Apex?
Okay. So maybe this is a funny story because I was working several years ago. I was working in the IT department, but suddenly I started feeling that I was frustrated because I was using a tool and I didn't like the tool. I was thinking to create some things, but I wasn't able to do it. So even though there are many other things that I didn't like about the IT department, and I was thinking, oh my God, I made a mistake by choosing computer science as a career. So what I did is I have another passion that is to cook and bake and all that. So I entered to the chef program or the chef school, and I was so amazed by the techniques and all of that. And I was learn a lot of things, a lot of amazing things that I didn't know before. And while I was working in my current job in the IT department. So one day I discovered Apex, and I was like, I will say that Apex changed my life. It's like my life before Apex and my life after Apex. It is like something like that because I was thinking that I made a mistake by choosing the computer science, but it doesn't. The problem was that I was using the wrong tool for me. And when I discovered Apex, at the moment, I was just a beginner. I didn't know too much about Apex, but I was able to create amazing applications. I was able to put the logic that I wanted. I was able to reuse all the logic that I have in the database. So I was amazed by that. And also because the same application was able to run on any device. And that was like, wow, it was something completely amazing for me. Yeah. So that's why I start developing using Apex. And I say that Apex is not just a developer platform. I will say that Apex is a life changer because I mentioned that I was thinking that I was starting the wrong career for me. But when I start learning more about Apex, and I found out many things that you can create using Apex, and also after that, I was able to start working as an IT independent consultant, just creating applications with Apex. And that completely changed my life. Wow. So I was focused and concentrate just only on Apex. I had the opportunity to work on different projects just using Apex. And then I was able to join the Apex team. And I think Apex is not a life changer for me. I think Apex has changed the life for many people in the Apex community. So many people have the opportunity to found a company just offering Apex solutions, or they have created amazing Apex applications, or there are many things that they use in Apex. So yes. So when you say Apex is a developer platform, I think it's more than that, not a platform.
Interesting. Okay, so okay, you said a lot there that I want to get into. Now, you're an engineer. You went to school for computer science, right?
Right.
Okay, so you already have a very significant technical background before you got into Apex. Is that something that is required, or like some developers are self-taught, or some developers are like maybe they're still in college? Is using a tool like Apex, so does it require a lot of advanced knowledge, or is it relatively easy to just get in there and start working?
Well, it depends, and I think it depends on the person, because there are many people that have learned so many things by their own, but some other person or other people need to go to the college and study there. So I will say that it depends on the person, but I think if you want to be a developer, you don't need to spend 4 years of your life just learning how to develop applications. You can do it by yourself. Of course, you need to understand many things, how the database works, how to model the data, what is the data. So there are many things that because when you create an application, you can see just an application, but there are many things inside of the application, the servers and all of that. So if you want to, for example, if you want to focus only on developing an application, yes, probably you don't need to go to the university. But if you want to create real systems, real good applications, probably you will need more background. Probably you need to study more in deep.
Okay. So, but so that's really helpful. But I've heard, and maybe you can, give me a little bit of comment on this, that it's relatively easy to get started with Apex. And
all right.
Okay. So it's not like you need to go. It's not hard to get involved. It's easy to get involved, and that's why people are getting involved in the community with the technology. And so that's very helpful, because I think sometimes, just because a tool is easier, to start using, doesn't mean that, you'll be able to utilize all the functionality to create, huge enterprise applications, right? Which is what you're talking about in terms of having more advanced knowledge. You can do a lot more with it, obviously. And the other thing I wanted to talk about here is you mentioned that it, changed your life. It was more than just a tool. It's more than just a tool for creating, applications. It changed your life. I was wondering, you're involved with the community. You've seen this as well actually you mentioned that other people, it's changed their lives as well. I'm very interested in this because I'm always personally interested in how people grow and change and learn, because that's a hobby of mine, actually. So maybe I should learn Apex. Maybe I should get involved, and it'll change my life, right?
Right. Yeah. I think so. But yeah, and also when I discovered Apex, I found out that this is an exceptional community. This is not the regular community, because in IT, probably you have noticed so many things. But in this community, everyone is so helpful. And everyone is so passionate about Apex and how to help others. Because when you are experienced and you know how to create the applications, well, you don't need anyone else. But when you are starting, when you are a beginner, sometimes you don't know all the tools and all the features that Apex has. So it's always good that someone can lead you to the right place. Okay, so you can solve this like blah blah blah, or hey, there are other ways that you can do it, and it's so simple. And because I have noticed that from the novice or the beginners developers, that they are looking to do something that they are trying to redo the cycle. But in Apex, there's another way to do it, and it's more simple. It's simpler. So it's just because they don't know all the features. So it's always good to have this exceptional community that can lead you, can help you to the right place. Yeah.
Now the community has been growing for a long time, right? This is not necessarily brand new technology that was just released last year. I mean, Apex has been growing for a long time, and when I used to travel to conferences, and I would meet up with people, and they would talk a little bit about Apex, and I would always notice that they would just light up about when they were talking about but not only the technology but also the community. And I noticed this, and that was before I was new on this team, and I wasn't really that familiar with it, and but everyone kept on bringing it up, And so you're right; it does sort of have this effect on people. It is an interesting community of people that are really, really into it. And I'm wondering, you've done a lot of presentations and stuff. These are technical talks that you give to developers and stuff. You must have seen the community grow. It must be give you a lot of pleasure, because as you've expressed very personally how it's changed your life, to see that in other people. Is that sort of one of the main things that you like, is in terms of getting involved with the community and contributing to the community?
Mm-hmm. Right. And just to mention an example of that is because with Apex, you can also help your own local community. And just to mention one example is that if you go to apex.org, you can find COVID applications. It's a section only for COVID applications. So people from the Apex community have built these applications to solve or to help with a problem in their local community.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes people need a favor, they can go out or something like that. So they create an application to solve that, or to register for the vaccine or something like that. But it's about COVID, and the applications are built using Apex. So this is exactly why this is an exceptional community, because we are not only passionate about the tool, we are passionate about how to help people. And because we know how to develop the applications using Apex, we can help them. And this is not just, okay, I'm good, I don't need to do anything else because my family and or myself are good, I don't care other people. No, it's just because I know and I am experienced and I can help other people. I think that is the key in here. Just because if you can offer something to the community, if you can return something in favor to others, that doesn't have a price.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I've been involved in software communities for a long time, and what you just articulated there is one of the reasons why people get involved in communities in general, but specifically in my case, software communities. People are contributing code, they're benefiting from their contributions, they're meeting people, they're growing, and they're becoming more skilled. And this is why people get involved and contribute. Is this something in terms of user groups and communities and stuff like that? Is this something that you've done all of your life, or just more recently with Apex?
No, just recently with Apex, and with the other technologies that I have used in the past, I have never have a relation with the team. I didn't know who was after the tool, but when I found out Apex, I met the team. I met Joe Kalman. I met Jürgen Schuster in Germany, who is the lead of Apex.world, which is the Apex community site. So I met a lot of people in like, I don't know, 2 or 3 months. And it was amazing because it's like everyone is connected, real connected here.
Right. Interesting. Okay. So Apex is growing, the community obviously, but also the technology. Is there anything new lately, maybe the last few versions that people should know about that would be helpful?
You're right. Recently, on May, we launched Apex 21.1, and this version includes a number of features. Probably the community know about the new features, for example, the maps region. And again, you don't need to be an expert to create a map in Apex, and you don't need to do anything type of settings or previous things before to create the page in your Apex application. You can just go, follow the wizard, and start running the application, the page. So there is the maps region, and also there's a new application data loading. The data loading exists in other versions of Apex, but now it's more simple. And this allows users to upload the data using different formats. So I think the objective here is to improve the experience for not only for developers, but also for users. And there are many other features, and if you want to learn more about that, I can share the link in apex.oracle.com/blog. You can find more details about the new features.
Yeah, I'll definitely include all the links in the show notes for sure. How often are new versions released? Do you do a whole new version every 6 months or something like the Java team does, or like Linux does, or is it more of just as things come, they're released? In terms of like the development release model.
Mm-hmm. There are two versions. Sorry. There are two versions of Apex every year. So we are expecting another version in this year. And I can say exactly the new features, but you can find a lot of the new features in the roadmap. If you go to apex.oracle.com/ACE-OD, a statement of direction. And just to mention something is that progressive web applications is going to be included in the roadmap, the REST service catalog, the workflows, machine learning, integrations. So I think if you are interested about that, please go to this link. And just to mention about the progressive web applications, the existing Apex applications can run on any device, but the thing here is that these applications can be installed in your mobile, in your smartphone, and the idea is to keep working on this type of progressive web applications, include more features, and in that way you don't need to create a different application for your mobile, a native application. You can use the same Apex application as a native application in your mobile. So I think people is going to be so interested about this new feature.
Cool. All right. Well, I'm excited because the more and more people that I talk to about Apex, the more and more I say to myself, I should go sit down and just kind of hack away a little bit and see what I can learn,
Right.
because I mean, you've described it in terms of changing your life as much, usually people are just happy and, it's kind of cool. I can do this and that, and it's good and it's fun and it's great. But it's changed your life, and you've described it as changing other people's lives, and so that's really kind of motivating as well. And I'm sure when people in the community hear about that, then they're also motivated as well. Okay,
I hope so.
Yeah, excellent. All right, well, let's get out of here at this point. And is there anything else we need to talk about? Did you want to say anything else?
No, Jim. So there's one thing that I want to mention is about the if you have an idea about Apex, if you would like to add a new feature or something about Apex, so we have this new features ideas app, and also I can share the link later. And
so
the idea is to hear what community wants.
Okay, so that's a way for the community to contribute, basically.
Right.
I see.
Exactly, because as I said before, the community is so passionate and they want more things for Apex. They are interested in specific things. So the idea is that they can post their ideas there, and then we can review it. And if it's feasible, we can deliver the feature and all of that. So, but we are always listening to the community. We are always in touch with the community. And I think that's the other key, another key thing for Apex, for the entire Apex team, that we are always, who is working in the Apex team, and you can reach out to us.
Yeah, and I see it's very active on Twitter as well. So I see everyone is always talking. Okay, good. Mm-hmm. Monica, it was great meeting you. I'm excited, and I'm gonna go hack on some Apex, and I'll let you know how it goes. And hopefully next year, the year after that, well, I'll get to Latin America and I can say hello.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Jim.
Okay. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.